The 89th edition of La Flèche Wallonne, the middle of the three events that make up Ardennes Classics Week, and Julian Alaphilippe, Tadej Pogacar among a host of former champions of this event, indeed all of the former champions going back to 2018, involved in a mouth-watering array of talents. Looking forward to 205 kilometres of racing action in the Ardennes Hills, heading towards a conclusion on Mour de Huy for the 40th consecutive time, 40th anniversary, and a great hit out for the early break of the day. 5 riders clear of the field, looking to open up a decent advantage over the Peloton, but the Soudal-QuickStep squad particularly motivated to make it a challenging day for all, and the Breakaway's advantage never more than 2.25 minutes. Tobias Foss of the Ineos Grenadiers squad looking to make it across to the break when the gap came down to 45 seconds, and the Norwegian former world time trial champion joined by Rob Stannard in making it across to Simon Guglielmi, Artem Schmidt, Cyril Dessau, Tom Paco, Siva de Weert, and a group of 7 clear of the field for an extended period before eventually the Uno X squad wanted to get in on the action. Fredrik de Versnes and Andreas Leknesund showing the Peloton a clean pair of wheels, as it were, and moving across by the time they joined up with the main Peloton. It had lost at least one rider, and it was a tough day out for all the riders into the second half of the day. The weather closing in for the second successive year in Flèche Wallonne. Tom Paco, the local man, dropped from the lead group, and the pressure on the front of the Peloton. Uwe Vaca for the Soudal-QuickStep squad, setting a demanding tempo as the Peloton arrived onto the first of 3 assaults on Mour de Huy. Large crowd in evidence, and a 37-kilometre finishing circuit, almost 3 full laps for the riders, including 3 tough climbs along the way, and Remco Evenepoel staying close to the front of the main Peloton throughout the day, ever vigilant. The UAE Team Emirates squad also well represented at the front throughout the day, and the world champion Tadej Pogacar never far from the head of affairs. The lead group up front dwindling in number. Challenging moments for many of the riders, not least Cyril Dessau, a Belgian rider, coming to grief at a right-hander, and just shortly afterwards some leading riders in the main Peloton, including the Amstel Gold winner Matthias Schjelmose hitting the deck. Painful moment for the Danish rider, and he was to play no further role in the destination of race honours. Meanwhile, up front, down to 3 Norwegians clear of the field. Foss there with Leknesund and de Versnes, and just dangling out front, handful of seconds clear of the field on their second time up the Mour de Huy. Second and penultimate. Just the 37-kilometre final lap, including 3 tough climbs. And the 3 riders eventually called to account within the final 10 kilometres of the day after a brave resistance. De Versnes, after his glory in Tirreno Adriatico, not on this occasion going to survive from the early break to take a famous win. Difficult day 2 on St George's Day for George Bennett, the Kiwi with the Israel Premier Tech squad, having some technical difficulties at a particularly challenging time. Onto the Côte de Charav, the penultimate climb of the day, and the lead group fracturing as it overhauled the final riders from the early break. And the UAE Team Emirates squad placing Tadej Pogacar up and over the top into a position where he wanted to keep the pressure on the rest and make it as difficult as possible for them to make their way back in. Remco Evenepoel alive to the possibility of an early attack from Pogacar, and he moved clear to try and control the descent as they made their way into the final 2 kilometres and into the town of Huy, and prospect of that final 1,300 metres up to the finish line at Mour de Huy. Jan Christen for the UAE Team Emirates squad. Brandon McNulty doing a great job on behalf of Pogacar to set a searing tempo. Ben Healy launching first for the If Education Easy Post squad, but almost instantly Tadej Pogacar at Claude Croquillon corner, racing clear, opening up several seconds advantage almost instantly, and the rest floundering in his wake, racing at that point for second. Healy hanging on as long as he possibly could. Kevin Vauquelin looking good. Remco Evenepoel fading slightly. And Martinez clearly in good form after an altitude camp. Vauquelin overhauling Healy, but never going to get on terms with Tadej Pogacar taking a second victory in 3 years in La Flèche Wallonne. 6th victory of the season for the flying Slovenian. Vauquelin, second successive podium in La Flèche Wallonne, and Tom Pidcock finishing very strongly to take the final podium spot. Handshakes all round. Not the first time that Pidcock will join Tadej Pogacar on a podium. On this occasion, had to give best once again to the Slovenian rider. A reprise of his 2023 success, and following his disappointment in finishing second at Amstel Gold, normal service resumed for Tadej Pogacar on Moor de Huy. Pogacar gets the win by fully 10 seconds from Kevin Vauquelin. Pidcock joins them on the podium. Martinez, Healy, Buitrago, Gregoire, Nace, Evenepoel and Mara Schmidt all with much to celebrate from a great day out. It was Tadej Pogacar celebrating on the top step of the podium in La Flèche Wallonne 2025.